Iowa tops Penn State. What a Big Ten smash mouth slugfest. Hey everybody, Big Ten Ted coming at you here, reacting to Iowa and Penn State. A lot of people are going to come at me and say, hey, BTT, hey, Big Ten Ted, Penn State quarterback Sean Clifford got knocked out, didn't play the second half. If Sean Clifford would have played, Penn State would have won. And I'm not going to disagree with you because I'm going to be honest with you. If Sean Clifford doesn't get knocked out, I think I do agree with that sentiment, but that's not what happened. You know, you go back to the Graham Mertz game and how well he was playing in the Wisconsin versus Michigan contest, and some people in Buckyland say that might have been the same result. But you got to give at least a little bit of credit to the defense. Tory Taylor. Who? No offense, no defense. Yeah, special teams. Tory Taylor pinned Penn State inside the 10-yard line 3 times. It might have been more, actually, in that first half. But at least 3 times pinned them inside the 10-yard line. Now, why is that dangerously important? Well, 2 reasons. One, the long field makes it extremely difficult, especially with a quarterback that has never seen significant snaps in college football. That makes it really hard for him. If he has better field position, maybe they can open up the playbook a little bit more. But number 2, when you're pinned up against that Iowa crowd, that student section that is making so much noise, that is where we saw all of those false start penalties throughout this game. And that's what, multiple times they're backed up to the 2-yard line, to the 1-yard line, and it is utterly impossible for anybody, even an experienced quarterback and an experienced offense in that situation, to have any lick of success. I said it during my preview. Penn State, if you turn the football over once, twice, whatever, if you turn the football over, don't panic. And I will give Penn State a little bit of credit in that first half. Only 3 points off of 2 early Iowa turnovers. Of course, they had the 4 later on in the game. That was the total number of turnovers for this Hawkeye defense. But only 3 points on those 2 turnovers early in the game, and Penn State had themselves in control of this football game. The damage control was huge, and I think if Clifford would have played the second half, that damage control would have been extremely important as to how this game would have translated into the second half. Here is kind of how I view Spencer Petras after all of this. He's a quarterback that can stand in there. He's good. He can make big plays when he needs to, but he's not overly excellent at the quarterback position. He's not going to go out there and be a game breaker for you. He's not going to put up ridiculous stats. He's not going to put up 300 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns. That's not what this offense is, and that's not who Spencer Petras is. This is a team at Iowa that capitalizes and succeeds when they play great defense, force turnovers, run the ball with Tyler Goodson, and occasionally make a big play with the passing game over the top. You saw the consistent running game from Tyler Goodson, hitting off a couple double-digit yard runs as this game on, and as he was able to continuously and consistently run the football, that's when you hit the big play over the top late in the second half. Spencer Petras, they're not asking him to do much. Iowa succeeded on another big key that I outlined in the preview. Jahan Dotson, right? He had 8 catches in this football game, but he was nowhere near 100 yards. He didn't hit the big play. That's what Penn State needed to do. If this game was close in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, they needed Jahan Dotson, and they went to him. I think they thought, as this game was progressing and as this game was winding down, the only hope in hell that they had was, oh crap, we got to hit Jahan Dotson over the top. We got to get a matchup. But Iowa knew that. Iowa knew exactly that's the only hope that Penn State had late in the game, and they didn't hit it. Sure, Jahan got his catches, but he never got a big catch. He was never able to break free into the secondary. Iowa did a great job wrapping him up when he did catch the football. Most of those catches came early, first quarter, second quarter, when Sean Clifford was in the game. As I said before, the game completely changed when Roberson took over for an injured Sean Clifford. And the Iowa defense proved to me that they're still outstanding, they're still great, they're still an elite defense that can play at a nationally high level. Penn State, this is the toughest defense you're going to play all season long. Going back to week 1 to the end of the season. Weeks 1 through whatever. This is the toughest defense that you will play. Games prior, games future. What do you guys think? Is this a fluke victory considering Sean Clifford was knocked out of this football game, or is this a legitimate victory for the Iowa Hawkeyes, considering how they played in all three facets of the game? A win is a win, especially against a good Penn State team. You know, Taquan Roberson, look, this kid's a four-star kid. He's a highly recruited quarterback. He's a lot better at the backup position than Chase Wolf. I made that Wisconsin-Michigan comparison before. So he was a competent quarterback. He made a few good throws in this game. He ran around and made some plays. But you know what some people are going to say. Okay, people have found things about Iowa, right, to nitpick, and maybe this is just another one of those things. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to Big Ten Ted for more Big Ten football content. I'm Big Ten Ted. We'll see you in the next one.